Greetings, golf club golf fans and players and designers. Today we're going to look at one of the Torrey Pines sets published by Kilog 117, K-I-L-O-G 117. We're going to do a play on his course. I'm going to show you some gameplay on most of it. But here we go. I see a few of my friends have already been out here, it looks like. And from the tee off screen here, I'm going to remove Kilog off of there so it's just me. And off we go. Here we are on the first tee.
Hello there, and
because of the way I play without grid, without the wind speed, and without the scout camera, I will watch the flyover, taking note of bunker placement and the general layout of the fairway and such. And as we approach the green, I'll take note of any slope I can make out as pertaining to the bunkers, where I might want to land the approach shot there and have a chance at birdie if I'm lucky. And then the first thing we'll do is we'll zoom way out here and take a look at the course in general. That would be the 18th hole below us there, and I'll make mention later on of that bunker in front of the green. You see the publisher has done a pretty fair job of the infrastructure, parking, cart paths, buildings around the course. Anybody familiar with this course from the Farmers Insurance Tournament that PGA plays in the winter knows that it's a West Coast California cliffside course with the ocean well below us and well below the surface of the course itself. Pretty nice work there. You see he's put in a fall putting green area, which I'm not really that familiar with it, but I will assume it's an authentic location. He's placed buildings as best as he can, considering the limitations and the scant few building options we have to put out there. So the buildings themselves are not authentic, but their placement probably is, along with the parking possibly. I do not know, so I won't comment either way. But there's a general overview of the course property. And now we're back on the first tee. I'm guesstimating the wind.
It's looking good.
My assumption was here on this cloudy day, it was blowing anywhere from 6 to 8 to 8 to 10. Pretty
I'd
consistently.
say around 105 yards or so to the pin here.
4 mile an hour wind is 4 yards of air time or something that needs to be adjusted for. I'm taking a look at the flag via the option pause button there to see what the flag is doing for the approach. You could easily drop a club with this wind. And did a fair job of it, getting it up there by the hole.
That was a sweet approach.
That's one
well
for me.
done. This one's for birdie.
Now I can just make the putt. Okay, good start to the round. Here we are on hole number 3, a par 3. I haven't shown you all of my pre-tee work, but
All right, you're
Again,
putting
whatever
now.
we've done a pretty good job of figuring it out.
Bird.
Stick the flag in there, and I set the marker for the distance to the hole. I'll swing around, see if I can detect any changes. Depending on what it is, I might move the marker out a few feet to see what changes beyond the hole, or I might move it in a couple of feet to see what changes I can pick up short of the hole. And I'll do my best to aim for a spot that might wind up in the hole. I've detected a little left to right here.
Oh, that was moderately disappointing.
I was off by the edge. It happens. Make your par.
Okay, let's see what...
Be happy and move on. Now we're looking at the next hole here on the approach shot. Again, the wind is behind us. A little downhill, so we can easily drop a club here.
Nice approach.
Below the hole, always
right,
a good
this next
thing.
one's for birdie.
Doesn't mean it's going to be a birdie, but at least there's a chance. If you're above the hole, looking at a few inches downhill, coming off of it, I'd rather be putting a little uphill than a little bit downhill. This, I believe, was the Friday round on this. He has 4 iterations of this course published. So a 4-round tournament with 4 unique days, pin placements, possibly even tee off boxes is possible. He could make a complete tournament out of this. This round happened to be cloudy, and a little later on we even had a light shower. Always seems to be a rainy day in a 4-round tournament. Changeable weather. The Thursday and Friday rounds, generally everybody goes out. One day you'll start on the first tee, the next day you'll start on the 10th tee, just so everybody's, getting out there and getting it in. 7th hole, this approach on a par 4. I'm still judging that wind at about 8 miles an hour, but helping. You see the ravine below the hole, out of bounds area over there.
Okay, for the birdie.
That could have been better. But it's still a birdie opportunity. See off in the distance there behind the green, the ravine. There'll be other shots there where you can see the amount of work and detail that was put into those ravines with putting bushes and trees down there, so it looks authentic and legitimate. It's quite a bit downhill, so I'll set the marker. That's kind of the spot I'm aiming to get the ball to, and then let it drain down to the hole. We'll see how well I did here in a minute. Generally I'll miss them low. There, just a little nudge over to the left there, because the ball's not going to go in dead center. It's going to come in from the side door if it goes in at all.
Oh, it was so close.
A little bit low. But okay,
4 feet to the hole, you can do this.
That was a tough downhill putt.
And a nice putt.
Got out of trouble. We're on the par 3 8th here. Again, I'm not showing you all my pre-tee stuff there, other than the fact I dropped the club and de-lofted it a width of the hair there, just to take it a little bit back in my stance.
Did you get all of that?
And that was going to be a tough one. You know, if you were going to get it close to the bunker, needed to be carried, and a little too much bounce. I could have been, 10 or 12 feet past the hole, but all things being equal, I'd rather be trying a short chip up to the hole than, having a nasty downhill or back. Again.
4 feet.
Better
Let's do
2
this.
feet short than 3 feet past. Just got to make the putt now. In the distance, you see the buildings. I don't know about the rest of you, but it kind of gives me the feeling of being there.
Great putt in there.
Made the putt, made the par. Smile,
and
move on. There you are, second shot at 10. Okay.
Good stuff. This.
I was hoping that would roll a little bit to the right, closer to the hole, but on the flyover, I noted that that would be the landing spot. Just had to hit the perfect shot to get it to the right spot, let it filter down. Still, got a possibility for a birdie here. Check it, then I get the worm's eye view of what's going on there. Sometimes I'll take a look at it from behind the hole, and just to see if I can pick up any extra little bit of detail. You're playing without the grid, you're measuring as best you can. You measure twice and cut once if you're lucky.
Disappointment.
If I had measured 3 times and cut once, maybe that would have went in, but c'est la vie. Got the par, move on. 11th hole, another par 3. Wind's helping. I haven't shown you, how I came up with where I aimed that tee shot, but went a little long with it. The wind might have picked up there and I didn't detect it.
You got some real estate to cover with this next one.
I'll make mention again of the authenticity of this course. Like I say, if you've watched the Farmers Insurance Open from Torrey Pines every year, if you're a golfer or a golf fan, or watching the PGA telecast fan, you know this course pretty well. If you played any of the Tiger Woods games, this course is on just about every yearly release, so you're probably a little familiar. Some of its tricks, some of its elevation tricks, and there's some out of bounds lurking here and there that will definitely add a couple of strokes to your round.
Ouch. All right, nice little 2-foot putt.
We're tapping for a par.
And let's see what...
Smile and move on. Here we are on the 12th, par 4 approach. I grabbed me some rough on that shot.
Ooh.
It's a long par 4, so there's only so much I could do with it. But now, with some luck, I'll be taking a pitch in there. Take a look at the wind. So I'm going to take a full 9-iron at it. Even though it's only 120 yards away, up against the wind, and a pretty crummy little lie there. So I had to take a little extra club, both for the wind and for the lie. And I didn't muck it up too bad.
Okay, let's see what you can do with this 7-footer.
Chance. All is not lost. Got to make the putt. A little practice strokes there.
Well, I wish those putts would just drop.
I missed it by some.
Let's see how these numbers
Made
add
a bogey. They happen. Better than a double bogey or a triple bogey. There we are on 13, par 5, second shot. That's a long par 5. You're probably familiar with this one here, so you know it's a 3-shotter unless you have like a lot of helping wind. But I managed to leave it in the fairway.
Yards or so to the pin here.
With the chance to get it on there in 3, but it's tricky. The wind is pushing it. It's uphill. Plenty of green to work with below the hole, so I think I elected to make some kind of pitch here. Yeah, full pitching wedge. Okay. Little D-loft there, just a hair, just to check it up. See how well I did.
Doesn't look like it's on the fairway, but it's all right.
And went a little bit long, and I left myself a problem.
Well, you're in the sand, so let's just get out of there.
Make a sensitive little bunker shot here. Too deep in the hole for any kind of chip, a bump up and run or anything, or hitting it in the fringe. I need to land that about 6 feet short of the hole somehow. Hope it trickles down. Again, a nice course, mostly or fairly or merely completely accurate, to my observation.
That was superb.
Kind of a perfect shot. I mean, it could have went in.
Let's see how this all adds up.
But, okay, made our par. It was a 3-shotter. We hit a bunker. We saved our par. Par 4, 14th. The approach. Not terrible.
Nice.
Pretty much pin high.
This one's for birdie.
Measure that putt a few times here just to see what can be detected. See what the elevation and slope is doing at the hole. I think this is the one there went, from 1 inch to 2 inch there, but it doesn't do it all at once. It's not like a little cliff out there where it goes from 1 inch down to 2 inches down, like, immediately in the range of a blade of grass there. It's going to be a gradual thing, so you got to think of it in terms of it's taking it a whole foot to drop 1 inch. To get the rhythm, a couple of backstroke practices, just to feel a rhythm.
That was awesome.
Measured about 5 times, but I only had to cut once. All right, here we are, 16th hole, par 3, over the ravine, which is out of OB.
Yeah, can't hit all the fairways.
And came up just a little bit short.
Okay, let's get this ball onto the green so we can start with the putting.
I'll be able to chip this up. We'll drop it down to the putter so we can get elevation, you know, if it's up a couple inches, down a couple inches, and where that might be. With the lie, this might be a sandwich chip. We're going with the lob wedge chip. The lie isn't too terrible from that little bit of fringe rough. Not
Sweet.
terrible.
Little 5-footer here.
Be able
Nothing
to
too
make my
scary.
par here. The reason I put the flag in is, for one thing, if the aiming marker is not quite right on the flag stick itself, and from the low view you see it's not quite straight up. To me, that indicates that there's some change in my foot lie. The ball is a little above or below my feet, even on this short putt. So I'll make some adjustment for that, and then.
Oh goodness, that was thoroughly disappointing. All right, nice and close.
Doesn't
nice
get much closer
here.
than that without going in. Oh well. All right, we're on 17 now. Approach. Pin high with a chance.
Okay,
Hit
we're
the right
putting
club
from
the right
around
way. Just a little
15
bit
feet
off
out.
line, but you got to remember I'm guesstimating the wind. I don't have that wind meter telling me exactly what it's going to do, so that's why I often hit the option button for pause. Look at what the flag is doing. You can see there it's blowing a little bit. So, whatever I did, I was off by quite a few feet. Would have been nice to have landed it at an inch from the hole, but you do what you can. You see these greens were a 133 putter, which means they're on the slow side, which kind of jives with the kind of day it was. It was cloudy, a little bit of rain, so everything would have softened up. All right, here's the flyover on 18, and this is the one I was talking about earlier. This is a long bit of business here. Should be planned for 3 shots, no matter what you do, unless the pin is in the lower right or upper right. Now you see that bunker there. Now you all know there's water there on the real course, and this is where the limitations of the designer program comes in, because there's a water table, and the water table is basically at ocean level, and these cliffs are probably a couple of 100 feet in spots, so there was no way this guy could put the water there properly. So the next best thing he could do was to put a bunker there, and that's as good as it got. It's not a defect in the game. It's not a defect in the designer program. It's just a limitation. It'd be nice if they could address it somehow, but it really just can't be done. If he was going to put water there, he would have had to put a 200-foot deep hole there, and there was just no way that would ever look or play correctly. Against the wind there, that's uphill. That's that's the best I could do with the driver. So. The pin's in a good spot, but we're up against the wind, and we're still too far away here. So we had to plan this for 3 shots. Best case scenario is you're taking a wedge of some kind in, and you can drop down, pop it in the air and drop it close to the hull with some luck. So I'm going to take a 5-wood at this. Should still be well short of that bunker / pond.
Okay. No good.
Right,
okay, so you're in the rough here.
Off there, but that could be worse. Up against the wind from that lie. I think I decided to go with a full lob wedge as opposed to a pitch. I think. It gave me the right distance. I just had to figure out which way to do it best. So I went with the full 75-yard carry lob wedge up against the wind. Came back a little bit off of the backstop.
Nice.
Could have been
all right,
better.
13-footer here.
Left myself a birdie try. Didn't execute everything perfectly, but I gave myself a chance for a bird. I would hope that more designers would take the tact of designing courses, especially if they're trying to do these authentic recreations, that they made things puttable without being silly. Because I'm going to finish up about even par here, but there's guys out there that still got this thing for 13, 14 under. So it's in the hole. Thank you, Mr. Kylog, and
yes.
Hope you do more good stuff. Yeah. You see, we got somebody got a 12 under there. I shot even, and I'm happy. But I didn't have the grid, the wind, or the scout camera. I found this to be worthy of a full 4 bumps for various reasons, for design, for layout, authenticity, for the background stuff. So you can see I took it up to the max. Eventually I'll get it there. Yep. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks, Kylog.